Hey traders, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Now let's talk about some Bitcoin today. So gave the guys the levels here in the group right before the video. So need to get you guys an update as well. But yeah, low here is 59,200. I was looking for basically this 58 to 59K is the lowest of the low that I wanted to see. Gave him some areas of interest here. So what you can see is we've swung failed the lows, and we are heading up for at least another, hopefully a cycle of the range here. You could also use previous day data if you wanted to. You can see the previous day data getting things really, really well. And so that's what we're looking for. If we lose this level, it's not the end of the world. I'd just be looking down into this daily, weekly area. If we come out to like the hourly and just kind of throw that data out there, what you'll notice is you've got your March data, which needs to be updated. Maybe I can get it updated here. Everybody gets so bearish at the lows of these ranges. Yeah, and what you'd notice is the daily, weekly coming in right there. I do believe that's also going to be your golden pocket of this move. So should we come back and back test this region, what you've got is a nice, giant, high volume node right here to support price. And this is actually putting in a pretty good size high volume node at the highs here, which is good. So you want to see this fill out a little bit more. Really want to see these levels hold. Don't want to see anything below probably $58,500, or you probably will get that initial $1,500 move all the way down to potentially the weekly and monthly point of control here at about 57,000 bucks. But again, I'd look at that as an opportunity until the uptrend is over. Now we do have some people that are going to be calling out divergence on the high time frames, which I do understand the validity of their claim. We'll take a look at that in a second. But the issue with that is you can't really get any of that divergence to play out until you lose market structure. And so at that time, loss of market structure really would look like a loss of about $55,000. That to me would be the time to get overly bearish. Early warning signs would be acceptance back below the daily and weekly here, this guy. I would just put a little box. I think I already actually did it myself right in this region. This would be the box I'd want to see hold because this is your weekly POC right here and your monthly point of control as told by the charts. So let's look at our February data. Yeah, your February data is coming in all the way down here at about $54,000. So loss of 54K, probably see a pretty good size retrace. Where's our monthly point of control from February? Maybe this thing's moving extra slow today. $47,000. So I don't know that I'm willing to say it's going to go all the way that low if we lose that. That'd be quite the retrace. But just know that that's there. Okay, so moving on. One thing I do want to check out real quick is I wanted to pull this back up. This is a range from when we entered last month's range here, this consolidation range, and then I just pulled Fibonacci expansions off of a channel. You can see we pretty much tagged the 2618 of it to the T. So really liking how this works out. This is something that I've been working on collecting data on to see if it's going to continue to be valid. So if you guys have been following along on the channel, I mean, you can check it out yourself. This thing is absolutely beautiful on the way up and catching the high really nicely. There was a lot of areas that could have caught the high here. Let's take a look at some more macro data real quick. Now that we know where we're looking to if we are to lose support, let's look at some macro data and see where we could be going. So what stopped us up here was pretty simple. Let's turn off our levels. Let's turn on our fixed range. Turn off our fixed range, excuse me. And oh, that's also the 382, real nice. That's a nice swing failure pattern of the lows. So where's my VWAP? VWAP's coming in at 60,573, so could be looking for that there. Did we tag any of this? Almost got the hourly super trend and the 21 EMA. So yeah, the 21 EMA coming in up here. Could be coming back into that support band. So again, I'm playing this as a range till it's not, guys. If we lose it, I'm looking down into the weeklies from the old range, basically a back test of the weekly there on that breakout. So lose that and could be looking for lower prices, obviously. So yeah, that's how that's going. Let's look at, we were looking at this harmonic here. We're going to look at Ethereum too. Let's look at Ethereum real quick before we get into the high time frame stuff on Bitcoin. So those of you that are here for both Bitcoin and Ethereum analysis, again, I think that this gets it really, really well. One thing we could also do if we wanted to um, talk about Bitcoin is, you guys recall, this was the original breakout back here from the overall range, was in this region right here. So you could look at this as one bigger range, right? So then we've got this parallel channel here. And we broke above this one. And so what you'd be looking at is, this is just a sweep of the lows here for this high volume node at the highs. So if this is to be continuation, this is going to look like a P shape. This is what we want to see. You want to see some constructiveness up here with volume. Don't want to see this really just being, you don't want to see this where there's that gap, right? So we've got a gap in volume, but that's okay for right now. And so it does begin to look like this, and it's a nice P shape, which is what you want to see. It's indicative of price action moving to the upside. And so I'd like to see it fill out a little more up here at the highs, but what this looks like is a proper pseudo bull flag or continuation pattern. So until support is lost, that's how I'm going to look at it. A lot of people are going to, like I said, scream divergences. We'll take a look at that. But until those divergences actually play out because of a loss of market structure, you know, the trend is up. And the reason I say that it's not that you should always ignore this type of stuff here, but what I'm pointing out is that, and we need to get above this daily open. I'm going to go ahead and leave that up. What I'm going to point out here is that this looks like a lower high, and it is as of right now, but this is not a confirmed lower high yet. What that means is price has technically not stopped moving to the upside. So there is no local high just yet. It's still trending until we lose support. And I would look at that as probably losing the weekly and daily here, right around $57,000 on a closing basis. If you lose those levels, like come down here and close at this area, I would probably look for continuation down. And I would be targeting much lower prices at that time, which is fine. That would just be a healthy retrace, because we did just hit a macro area that we're going to talk about here in a second. So then we can talk about this as of where we'd be interested in getting long again. Okay, so let's not talk about the moon and or the doom scenarios just yet. Let's go back to Ethereum, and then we'll come over here and we'll do a little more in-depth analysis on Bitcoin. I'll show you guys some tools that I use to have spotted this pullback and where we could be going now. So Ethereum. This is a really basic chart for me on Ethereum, guys. I'm not as you guys know me. I take things trade by trade. This has been a really simple one. I don't have much up here for you guys. This was one where I said, if we clear 1719, and that was back here, I said, we got to get past the February point of control, which was here, right? Maybe if I can get this thing to work. You can see this is what was holding us down right here in this like 1630 region, which we eventually did base off of very, very nicely right here. I wanted to see us clear the 2-day at 1719. From there, I was looking up to 1803 to 1836, which was kind of the value area high for January. But ultimately, as long as 1719 held, which we came back and we hit 1719.72, if I remember correctly, here on this chart. So these levels are gold. This is as good as they get. I said we'd be looking up to the weekly at 1933. Had you taken that trade, you would have got in at 1719. You would have exited at 1933. We hit 1944. You sold the top, and then you were getting a perfect back test right now of the February value area high. So yet another really easy trade to take if you want it. These trades are out there, guys. That's why you should never feel all that pressed to always be in the market. And then, that's it. That's all there is to it here. Let's turn this on and go more locally, because I think I had the overall golden pocket here at 1540. Let's see, from that 1719 low, if I can get my cursor to work here. Sorry, guys. Yeah, what you'll notice is the golden pocket is coming in at $1,800. So should we lose this level, this is my next area of interest, is about 1803, 1805, this region right here. Anything below that, again, we are looking back to probably 1719. Don't really want to come back down to the $1,700 level so quickly. That to me wouldn't look all that constructive. Actually, that would start to look kind of like we're challenging the low yet again, and that to me might indicate we're going much lower. But as of right now, this is just a back test of old support, guys. This is an SR flip if I've ever seen one. So we want to see this bounce hold. If it doesn't hold, we can come down to the $1,700 level, the $1,796 to $1,800 level. 1803.14 is the spot that I have off of this failed swing failure pattern before with a nice SR flip. So that's the level that I'm using for that. Let's pull up our other volume information on Ethereum, get a good look at that. All right, before we go ham sandwich on some deep dive on Fibonacci tools for Bitcoin. So if you guys are into that kind of thing, stick around the TA porn session of the video, so to speak. So our weekly range, yeah, you essentially just tag the point of control of your weekly range right here. That's not all that bearish. You did swing fill the lows here, so what you want to see is this low as your invalidation. The low of, is this the low? Yeah, this is the low here, 1846.51. Any closures below 1846.51, and I'd look for an immediate move down to this 1805 to 1796 buy zone. Do bear in mind, I think that your monthly point of control for March is coming down in this region as well. So not to throw too much junk on a chart at one time and make this look as ugly as it is. Actually, no, it's not. Your March value area high comes in beneath that at 1781. So yeah, this is a good opportunity right here. In my opinion, this little like 1805 down to 1786. This little window right here would present the next opportunity on Ethereum should you lose support here. But as of right now, you are swing failing the lows potentially as long as this candle does close above that level. And just back testing the February value area high and the weekly point of control, which does end tonight. So we'll have new pivots, we'll have new weekly ranges to track. You guys know that's really fun for me. But yeah, as of right now, I'm looking at this as the next opportunity should we come down lower. Don't want to see us coming back into the 17-19 range. Let's see one more time where those Fibonacci levels do come in. I could just prefer to use the overall. Yeah, I mean your 382 is coming in here too. So overall, so losing this level again, the 17-19 level really needs to hold this level. I'd love to see it continue to hold $1,800 on the SR flip or this value area high until like 1813. This was the box I'd given you, I believe, was somewhere in that region. So as long as that's holding, I think this looks constructive for another test up into the weekly. If we get above the weekly, I think we go to all-time highs. You guys know that. Now my next targets on all-time highs are 2279 just based on Fibonacci. So $2,279. And then there is a hiccup spot at like 2080, I believe. But I'm not really looking for that to stop us too much. I think that's just like an algo and pivot target. 2080, then 2279, then I'm looking to 2500, then 3081 if I recall. Let's pull those macro targets up for you guys just so that everybody knows where they're at. That's your 1618 of this. I like them in log. And yeah, I'd be looking all the way up to 3141. So 2279, 2500, and then 3141. That's not to get too far ahead of ourselves. Obviously, everyone's targeting, everybody's targeting 10K. I'm targeting 8475, assuming that the cryptocurrency market continues to travel up in market cap. If that is to get a market cap of like, I want to say $6 to $8 trillion, I think as a total, I think Ethereum, it will be up here in this like $8,400 to $10,000 region. It's all about patience. And there's really nothing saying that, you know, it's too bearish just yet. So back to Bitcoin here, guys. Again, back test right here. Let's turn these on. Let's turn on our daily and weekly levels. Just from a horizontal perspective, this is the region I want to see hold. And if we hold these levels, I think that this would look good for continuation. This is the region I want to see hold. So what's the closure here? 57,217 actually for that one at the lows here. I just have a different daily level here. So realistically, need to see those levels hold. If these levels hold, I think that we are good for immediate continuation. So as of right now, though, it is holding the range. So let's talk about the targets. So this was the harmonic I gave you guys, and you guys know that we were looking at it as such. the 5.0, a rare harmonic that was created by Scott Carney. He actually gave me a shout out on Twitter, so kudos to Scott. Really excited about that. One of the guys that I look up to because I have both of his books, Harmonic Trading 1 and 2. The second one does cover the 5.0, so that's a fairly new one. It is. You can also find information about it on harmonictrader.com. So check that out. This is free information. You can see the 5.0 AB equals CD. You guys can learn the basics of that. He gives you not only schematics here, but he goes over it in short videos. He does have other products that you could look into. That's up to you. I don't myself, but I know if you know his free content is indicative of what the paid content is like, I'm sure it's worth the price of admission. So yeah, this was a 0 to X to A, which is an expansion of at least 113% to 161.8, and then up to a 161.8 to this one almost went to the 2618 golden mean ratio with an exact 50% sell off, leaving traders looking for that golden area. This right here, they were all looking for the further dip, and it sold off before they could get there. Now, I spotted this one because I was looking for one above us. I was actually looking for this pattern up here to form right here. And the reason I was is we had a very similar look. You had the 0 to X to A. You had the 161.8 expansion up into almost a 161.8 perfectly here. Then you'd be looking for the 5.0 retrace, something like this, right? And so we've got a really clean one here, but you have to remember this can run all the way up to the 224 or the 2618, right? So this can continue up to like $68,000. Do we have anything to support that? We do. So going off of the prior move on this harmonic here, we had some Fibonacci retrace levels that we were targeting. So how you get your targets for this is you are looking for the expansion levels off of these. And so what I had done is I've done a couple different things. One, I took the expansion levels of C to D, you know, that 5.0 retrace, and you can see that the 113% retrace was the second target. I had a separate target right here from this macro log fib. If you guys are curious how I got this, all you've got to do is go back to February 17th, and I gave you guys the road to 63K roughly. And it's based on macro Fibonacci levels, and we're going to go over those in just a second. All right, so that's how I got that box over a month in advance, and we've tagged it, and it's great. But that's how you would get these. And per Scott on Twitter himself, so if you don't follow me on Twitter, give me a follow. He said we're targeting the 1618, which is $68,000 on this move, at least, unless he was speaking about this 1618 right here. Now, this 1618 is a log scale 1618. That's how I got this box, actually. This is Bitstamp data. You could use BitMEX, whatever you want to, but that's where I came up with this. We also had a 1-to-1 coming in there, and then a 2618 expansion level. There's all kinds of stuff saying that we could be going as high as $68,000 here, which would also be still in the golden pocket of this overall high to low. So what this is your prior bull market cycle high down to the bull cycle low. And so we're at the golden mean ratio. This is a very big area for Bitcoin. If we were to get that pattern, right, we were looking at it like this. This could be a target up into this region, depending on the data you use. I think on BitMEX, which is what I was contemplating which one's more valid, because BitMEX at the time had more volume. So you could be looking for something all the way up to about 68,678 and getting this move up into here. And then you would be looking for the 5.0 retrace. That is if this were to play out again. I'm not looking for it to play out again, to be honest with you guys. It's just something that I'm going to take trade by trade. We may not even get all the way up into here before we get a bigger pullback. We have to take it level by level, but that is the ahead planning that I have right now. It's just something like that. Now, we are at resistance, and one way you could have found this resistance, and let me turn off these right here, is again, I used this harmonic as my basis. This is how I was laying things out. You guys know that I like my Fibonacci tool, so what I did was I used my my fork, basically using from the B, C to D leg of this harmonic, and expanded out, and you can see that it has hit the median of our pitchfork perfectly, making this the area to get above, saying that if we get above this area, we target the top of the pitchfork, which has us going much higher, and that would get us to those Bitstamp macro levels that we were looking for, those macro levels of targets here. So we are at the 3 spot right now, and what this is a macro pull from the prior bull market low, well, 2 bull markets ago at 152 to 1966. That's crazy to think we went from 150 bucks at the low to $20,000. down to the $3,000 low, and you can see that the 3 spot here is the is what we ran into, along with the macro 1618. So really good Fibonacci confluence right now. Hitting this could indicate a pullback. You could pull back again as low as $57,000 and still be in an uptrend. So keep that in mind. This could go lower, but just be careful. All right. So don't get in over leveraged positions here. I know there's a lot of people on Twitter saying we have to go to 70K right now. I do agree with them that we do need continuation. If we don't get continuation, you will have some bearish divergence that begins to play out. So because you can't see these are lower highs on your RSI across the board. So for me, is that the end of the bull market? Probably not. It just means further consolidation before the move up, one more washout, whatever you want to look at it. And if we were playing a similar 5-0, which I don't know that I am, I'm again taking it level to level. Even if we were to pull off some form of a 5-0 from here, you can see that you're still in the $52,000 region, which is just a back test of this formation, which to me would be kind of the ultimate washout move. It'd be pretty dirty, actually, but I'm not looking for that just yet. I've got nothing to say we're going to get that move while support is holding. So, yeah, we got to get back above this. Not only was that in play, right? So that's how I'm looking at price off of this pitchfork. I have several other tools that I use that I don't really let people see the pulls on because it's just things that I've spent a lot of time getting put together and learning. But this is I call it an OG fork. This is when I was monitoring. We got above the median line. I was also monitoring this same pull on a pitch fan, and you can see we've cracked the median, back tested it perfectly, and then up to the exact high of the pitchfork. So letting me know that this pitchfork was more than valid, lining up nicely with macro levels of resistance as far as Fibonacci levels go. So this is a big area for us going forward, in my opinion. You've got the peaks here. Again, same pull. Median level is still the same. And this is your golden pocket, your golden mean ratio as far as a Fibonacci pull goes. So really, really nice as far as it's been getting things. So I've been monitoring this quite a bit, you guys know. And then if we go out to some more high time frame stuff here, like the daily, there is all kinds of stuff that you could have pulled. I keep all of my old fib fans and fib forks. This is one that I had done. It was a little bit different from the old annual pivot up to the $12,500 peak. The reason I chose that was our first really macro pullback from breaking out, so to speak, because that was right before the breakout actually. But what you'll notice is this fork is what I like to call undefeated. You can see how well it gets every single move. I mean, this has been an absolutely wonderful fork. It's gotten the highs and the lows really, really nicely. So very, very happy with it. Could not be more happy with it, actually. And just getting things extremely well. I don't think log scale was what I was wanting to see, but if you look at it in log, it's still very valid. But let's turn that off. And then you have your traditional just from the 3K low to that 14K top right here as well, getting things super, super nice. This may actually be a better look at it, even a better looking one, because you can see how well it's getting things. Just missing the high here, though, saying that we could push up just a little bit more to that $63,000 region. We'll see. We will see. So those are the Fibonacci tools that I'm looking for. That's how I am garnering things, just so that we are on the same page. And then if we take our further Fibonacci levels here, guys, let's take a look at some of our harmonics and go out to, this was the parallel channel that we're looking at, right? You can see the median line's pretty well respected and up. And we have this parabolic curve coming in as well. So I want to see this curve hold, which does support the idea that if we lose market structure, basically losing the median of this channel about 57.5, that would support the idea that maybe we are going lower. We do have, that's my range. This is from those same points pulled on that Fibonacci fork. So if we pull that back up, you'll see that we are at the golden pocket of our Fibonacci fork at the exact same time of our median of our pitchfork. Really like seeing that, showing me that the 1-to-1 on this is about 72,688, so that could be a target in the near future, lining up nicely with some of the macro Bitstamp data right here at 73,722. So should we clear $68,000 to $69,000. There is more resistance coming in about $4,000 later, and then from there you can start looking up to like the 4236 and the 1414 here of this expansion level at about 85 grand, and then the 1618 at $91,000. So that's what I have for you guys right there. Hopefully this has found you guys well. Need to see support here hold, otherwise we are looking down into a back test of that weekly level. If this was a proper 5.0, it would have you back testing this little box of support right around 52K. So that's what I've got for you guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Hopefully it wasn't me too much droning on. It's 25 minutes long, so I do apologize. But I will catch you guys in the next one. If you guys want access to the technical analysis group, shoot me a message on Discord. My username is down below, or jump into the Telegram chat. That Telegram chat is not active. It's literally only there to serve as a landing place to get to the Discord. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, I will catch you in the next one, and have a great Sunday.